Find the hole.
Today's show brought to you live from Lounge Media Group Studios. It's Pedro and the Freight Hound with the Logistics Lounge. The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.
What's crack-a-lacking, everybody? Welcome. Mr. Hound, dude, how are you doing?
Man, it's been a wild week. I'm about to pull my hair out, and I'll be looking like Todd here in just a couple weeks, I believe. Nice and shiny, but at least it's better than going gray. But dude, I am pumped to be here. Next week is Matt's, man. Just things are flowing. 2025 is kicking off with a bang, brother. How are you doing?
Help if I turn my damn mic up on it. I am doing wonderful, man. I'm doing awesome. Equally as excited to be here. So great that we're getting to do this again, and we're getting to do it live. Absolutely love hanging out, talking with Todd and the team. So going to be wonderful, man. Things are going good, work wise. Get on board some new customers, and do just preparing for Max. I mean that really is
That's
it.
it, baby.
So
That's the big dance right there.
yeah, man. Yeah, let's see. Oh, Mr. John. Hey, what's wrong with going gray?
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Salt and pepper. I think I'm looking forward to that time.
Dude, I'm
But
I'm getting it. I'm getting it in my beard, man. That's where I'm getting it, like right here on the sides of my beard. My dad said that's where he started going white first. Is in his beard. So
well,
yeah.
you're also the biggest stress ball I know, but I love you for it.
I mean that's true. That's true. I mean, I guess so.
I'm just
Well,
busting you, man.
no, I don't. I don't believe that myth, man. I really don't about the whole going gray thing. I believe it as far as going bald. That I do believe, but I don't believe it makes you go gray. I don't know. I'd have to see the scientific evidence for that one.
All right, we'll bring a scientist on for it.
Well, we will. We
The
do.
logistics of hair falling out.
I know that's right. All right, let's go ahead and get this news and get to our guest here. So news. The news today is you guessed it, Mid America Trucking Show. I mean, this is our last show before Matt's. We literally we have 7 days from today. We're traveling, and then 8 days from today, when everything officially kicks off, man. And dude, this is going to be. I don't know how we're going to top Matt's next year, Hunter.
I don't know. Maybe we can talk to somebody about getting in a monster truck, and maybe we'll do a jump. Who knows? But this year's going to be electric. Let's go ahead and talk about this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it, man. So what we got lined up some really great stuff. Every morning, I think at 9:30, which is slightly before the show starts, but 9:30 to about 10:15, we're going to do coffee with the lounge with our partner Road Dog Coffee, who they have a booth right there next to us. So every morning we'll go live. We're going to do that. Just talk about what's going on that day at Matt's. Maybe what happened the previous day. We're going to do we're going to do one live show in the afternoon as well. We got a whole bunch of guests lined up for that. I mean, we got Alex Mize coming on, Dean Croak with Dat Analytics. We're going to have him. We're going to have Road Dog Coffee. We're going to have, I don't even know, dude. The list is so long. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Mr. Tony Justice, Long Haul Paul, the McGee's that I met at Large Cars Guitars. It's the Freight family reunion. Like I think next year that's what we'll make. We'll start making the family reunion shirts, and everybody will wear them. It'll be a good old time. But hey, the super booth though, let's talk about that. I mean, I'm just looking at this, dude. So we got Bull Snot right across from us, Freight Movement. Nate and the boys. Then we're right up there with Freight Ninja, Roadie's Truck Stop, which would be freaking awesome, dude. Like it's lining up to be a deadly time. They might have to kick us out because I'm not going to want to leave. I don't know about you.
Hey, so like we're fortunate, man, because right across from us is the Kentucky State Police. So we've got automatic crowd control right there and automatic security. So I don't think you're gonna come over to the super booth acting crazy.
Yeah, we should see if they'll give us police escorts when we're walking through.
I want to get them. I want to get them on, man. I want to get them on the show, dude.
Yeah, that'd be
But
awesome.
talking about the super booth, so Freight Movement, that is Nate Johnson and Robert Bain. They're also part of GLCS. That's their company. So they're going to be the other part of our booth. They've got a ton of guests coming on. They're going to do one live show a day as well. And we just all kinds of things are happening. The big thing is going to be we're going to close out the show Saturday night with a late night live show at the trailer bar, and we're going to catch Long Haul Paul's private concert. We'll also get another interview with Tony Justice, Long Haul Paul, Brandon. a whole bunch of people there as well. Friday night, we have a special event that is going on. We can only have 250 people there, but if you're interested in coming to our private event on Friday, please DM us, let us know, and we'll shoot you a link. Maybe come hang out with us or something.
That reminds me, I actually still need to sign up for that. Wouldn't that be some shit for me to not even be allowed into our own event?
That shit would be funny, bro. I think Bane's doing door security. So I mean, you're not getting past.
Okay. I'll
Not getting
square
past
up
him.
on him a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll arm wrestle him.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, I would.
Yeah, then I'm gonna lose an
to
arm. I'll be one-armed hunter for the rest of my life. That'll be okay.
Love to see that.
Anything for the show.
Yes, anything for show. So hey, we'll close this news out real quick. But just again, Mid America Trucking Show. It is going on next week in Louisville, Kentucky. It is next Thursday through Saturday. Tickets are free. You just got to go on the website, sign up, or if you want, we have a VIP link. We can also shoot you that if you DM us. We'll get that over to you. Hope to see everyone there. It's going to be an amazing show. There's all kinds of things going on. Custom truck show. They're having a truck build. Live concert Friday night. I mean, just the events there are going to be endless. So if you're going to be able to make it, or you're going in it, or you're in that area, don't miss the Mid America Truck Show next week. Mr. Hound, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, don't be lame. Show up. It's the greatest truck show on planet Earth. Until the lounge truck show starts getting in production, then that's going to be a different conversation. But yeah, come meet some good folks. Meet the online homies in real life.
That's it.
Come see some beautiful trucks, cool trucks, tow trucks, dump trucks. Like shit. Come ride that little electric tricycle. But yeah, well, let me ramble on it, man, because I'm pumped for it. But I think we should get to our guest.
Yeah, God dang it, my brain is just glitching already. I can't have this. All right, without further ado, Whiskey Myers Logistics, everybody. That was a banger video right there, Todd. Oh man, we pulled out all the stops on that one. Thank you. Thank you for the video. Thank you for the music.
Let's go back. I want to see that video again.
Yeah, play it again. Play it again. Run it back.
All right, I'll play it again, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dude.
So bad.
Dude, wow. Hey, thanks for having us back, guys. We greatly appreciate this. Looks like I'm flying solo today, so hit me with your best shot.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Todd. If anyone that knows you knows that you not talking is not a problem. You know what I mean? So no one's worried about that. And no, we appreciate you coming back, my friend. And we're super excited to be able to do this live. We've already got crazy views going on. We're already into the triple digits. So and the show hadn't even really started yet, and we're just pumped, man. So for those that don't know you, Todd, you know, we're going to kind of start over a little bit so people understand who you are. But so go ahead and tell us, who is Todd, and how did you get to be the logistics manager for Whiskey Myers?
Well, let's see. That's last time somebody said, "Tell me who is Todd," they retired, and I got tired of paying them to talk to me. That would be my psychiatrist. No, I've started in this business when I was 18, and we won't go into how old I am now. But I've been with Whiskey Myers. This is my 7th year. And when I started, we literally had one bus, one trailer. we would play anywhere that would open the door and let us in. Fast forward 7 years, and I'm still here. And as you saw in the video, we now have 4 semis that carry everything around the country for us. 3 buses that tote everybody around to make sure that we're there when the people want to see us, and we do our deal.
Well,
We love that.
that was
And we love them Pete you got, man. So let's
You know, I love them Pete's too. Peterbilt is always been a very great and supportive partner of ours. I sponsor, that's a great word to use, but in the Whiskey Myers organization, we look at it as a partnership more than anything else, because people trust us to put their name with the Whiskey Myers organization, and vice versa. We trust the people that we put, as you saw on the trailers, to be great partners with us.
Yeah, partner is definitely the right term for that. And we talked about that last show, and we'll get more into them as we get into the show as well, because we've got some questions lined up for you, and we have some people that have sent us some questions. So what we want to do first, though, is kind of catch up with our audience that saw the last show in October. We had saw y'all were on a break from the tour at that time, and then I think y'all were going back out to do the acoustic part of it. So fill us in on that, man. How did that go? Did y'all have any crazy adventures? Any cool things happen then that we can look forward to coming up? Or
Man, the acoustic run was great. And this is something that this is our second year doing it as a full band. We've kind of sectioned off the United States. And this past acoustic run, we did Florida, and we finished up in New Orleans. And, people think, well, acoustic, that means they're not going to do this or they're not going to do that. No, what acoustic means is it's just not a loud rock and roll show. It's the same show with variations on songs, and it's more of an intimate way to get close to the band. The crowds were phenomenal. The people showed up in numbers because they were excited about this. So, like I said, we ran in Florida, and we finished in New Orleans at the Sanger Theater. Great venue. Every venue in Florida we played was great. Crowds were great. That is like I said, it's a scaled down version, so that only requires 1 truck and 2 buses. So we travel smaller for the more intimate setting.
So, and I appreciate that, because Whiskey Myers, man, they are obviously a rowdy rock and roll, country, red dirt band. But the acoustic side of it, you listen to them songs, man, the stories behind it and the feel of it. There's more to music than just having a good time with it, but it's the emotion, like what makes you feel. So you're talking about some of these areas, that it's some crowds react differently to certain songs and whatnot. But like what were some of the top areas that y'all did tour at, and like felt in your mind were some of those better shows of the year?
Man, I can't just pick 1 or 2 or 3, because to me they're all great shows. The fact that we have people who are willing to spend their hard-earned money to come see us or come see the band. They don't see me, they don't see Chico, they don't see any of the other drivers, or any of the crew per se. But they spend their money to come allow these guys to do what they've chosen to do, which brings me to, you'll never believe what we're calling the 20.
There's Todd, that East Texas internet there.
I thought that was me for a second. Daggone, dude.
No. He did. Remember, we went through it last time. He kept losing it. Toddler's out in the boonies, man. Oh, there you are. There you are. There he is.
Got
That's
it.
him. And he's gone. That's all right. Hey, we dealt with it last time with him. It's cool. We'll wait. There you are, man. We got you back. We got you, Todd. Can you hear us?
Yep, I got you. I got you.
All right, cool. You
So-
you had we lost you where you said you'll never believe what we're going to call, and then we lost you.
Yep, you'll never believe what we're calling the 2025 tour, which kind of ties into that last thing about these guys being able to do and perform. So 2025, the Whiskey Myers tour is called, let me make sure I got it right, Born to Do What We Were Born to Do is the name of the tour for 2025.
Oh, that's
Well,
nice, man.
That
That is nice.
that is pretty legit if you ask me.
Hell yeah,
because
man. It is.
everybody associated with this organization, from our partners to our management to our crew guys to the band, this is what we feel that we were all born to do, and that is put music to the masses.
You know, hey, it's kind of since we're on this part right now, the 2025 thing, you know, and obviously, you know, only give away what you know you could give away, but you know, one of the questions we were going to get answered again was, you know, the planning that goes into this, how far out you guys plan and stuff. So how many shows, how many stops do y'all have to deal with on the tour that you've got out so far?
Oh man, well, hold on a minute and let me take a look. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm fact checking.
There you go.
I'm going to say that right now there's probably roughly 35 dates that we are working on right now for this year. I can tell you that we're going to start June 5th in Clinton, Iowa. There's a huge festival in Clinton, Iowa, Tailgates and Tall Boys, that we're playing, and then the next night we're in Des Moines, Iowa, to officially kick off the What We Were Born to Do tour.
Dude, that's crazy. So when did you start planning this stuff, Todd? Like I mean, last year, you know, starting this year. I mean, immediately after the acoustic. How far out are you doing this?
So the tour starts getting planned. They started planning this probably July of last year, and putting it all together. And now that it's come together, that's when my job kicks in, and Howard, our production manager's job, kicks in. As far as, you know, making sure that we have everything we need when it needs to be, where, and how many people that's going to take. So it's a constant barrage of phone calls and Zoom meetings and emails going back and forth to make sure that we have what we need where we need to have it.
So how does that go into the production with it too? Because obviously, you know, you have the team that travels around with y'all. Like, you know, you being the logistics manager, you handle, you know, hey, we're making sure it gets from point A to point B. But, you know, like when it comes to like the staging crews, you know, load in, load out. Like, are you involved with that process as well? Because I know that's one of the biggest things. You know, like you leave one piece of equipment behind, like that can, you know, stint a show completely.
No, so I'm not involved in as far as the local stagehands go. That falls on Howard, our production manager. He advances all the shows with how many stagehands we'll need to load in, load out. My only job is to make sure that I've got the mileage and the routing that I can send to him and tell him, hey, it's going to take us roughly this many hours to travel between Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I bet that turnaround time, man. I feel for y'all. I have a buddy that actually does that for a pretty big band himself, and the stories he's told me, it is like superheroes, man. Like you don't just walk out there with a microphone and guitar. There is so much that goes on in the background. So, talking about this 2025 tour, do you think this will be the biggest one to date?
I do. I do. I had to think about that for a minute and go back to all the tours
Right.
that I've done with these guys, and I think 25 is definitely going to be the one to watch. I mean, we're only growing, and this thing is uh, before you know it, will be like Leonard Skinner and a household name.
I love that, dude. Dude, no, that's what I tell Pedro all the time. And when we started the lounge, I was like, I want it to be a household name. Like lights, camera, action, show goes on, boom, it's there. And like, dude, the progression of whiskey, man. Like, I was telling Pedro earlier today, it's like they're one of those bands that I didn't realize how much I really like listened to them and loved them, and like until I went to like my Spotify, and I was like, oh shit, I got like 3 of their albums saved, and like all these different songs, this, that, and the other. So like that is cool, man. Like, so how long's the band been in their stage of where they are now? I don't really,
So
you get what I'm saying?
May of this year will be, if I'm not mistaken, 18 years that they've been together. We've got a great tour manager in Chris that has been with them from day one. Eddie, our day-to-day overall manager, has been here. Oh Lord, I can't even remember how long he's been here. But the thing that really makes this work is the fact that we all bring something to the table, if you will, and we all know how to surround ourselves with the people to get the job done.
So when you first got brought in, man, you've been with them, you said 7 years now, correct? What was the biggest change that you made, and what do you feel like is the biggest impact you've made to the band and to their successes now? Because like I said, it's not just walking out there, it is the songs and the guitars, but like you're the backbone of it, brother.
Man, so the biggest change for me personally was having such a oh, there we go, we're back.
I was about to say that's so
the biggest
classic.
change for me was personally in the fact I don't know, I'm freezing.
There we
All right,
go.
we got your back. We got your back. Keep it flowing.
There we go. Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah, the biggest change for me personally was going from doing multi-bus tours to doing a one-bus trailer tour. And the fact that I no longer had to be gone from home for 6, 7, 8 months at a time. I was actually able to be home more. I think what I helped bring was a vast knowledge of transportation experience and knowing what it takes to move a show. Early on in my career, I had some great mentors with other bands that I worked for. One of them being a gentleman named Bob Edwards over at Brooks and Dunn. Being out on WWE with a guy named Terry Sims and watching how they handle everything, it helped me kind of hone my skill, if you will.
Sharpening the blade. I do love Mr. Brooks and Dunn. I got the chance to meet Ronnie one time, a couple times, when swimming in his pool. But dude, that's mentors. See, that's another thing, Pedro. Before you jump in, but dude, that's
hold on, Hound. Did Ronnie know you were swimming in his pool?
Yes. he knew my name. He knew my name, man. So that's all that matters.
Oh, that's a good one, man. Hey, so staying on the topic of Utah with this, what was it like? You talk about going from multi-bus to a single bus with a trailer. I mean, what was it like scaling this thing up? Because I mean, in the 7 years you've been with them, you've went from a bus and a trailer to, as far as I know, you got at least 3 rigs, couple buses, and I don't know. So yeah, there you go. Four. That's right. The 4 Pete's, the 389s and the 579, right? Yes. So what was that process like for you, man? I mean, was it slow going and or was just give us your feeling on that. How did that go?
Dude, so obviously 5 years ago today, we all know what happened and the fact that COVID stopped us. I mean, dead in our tracks, we were done. We came back in 22 after being off for 18 months. We had 2 buses, 2 trailers. In 23, Peterbilt came on board as a partner. So we started with 1 truck. So it wasn't too terribly bad. I got a feeling that I'm froze up again. Somebody shake their
Nope.
head.
You're good, Todd. We got you. You got.
There we go. Okay. Okay. So we started with what I affectionately refer to as the truck, and the fact that I had a 389 and I had a 536 26-foot box truck. We went out and tried that. And then in 24, we were planning the tour, and we went from 1 tractor trailer to 4 tractor trailers and 3 buses. So it was kind of an overnight, here you go big or go home type moment.
But you stepped up to the plate though, man. I mean, you all did. But I mean, especially the logistics stuff. And that's really, what the focus of this is, even when it comes to the music thing, I mean, or WWE, like you said, that does not happen without trucks and drivers moving stuff and making that happen. So, I mean, that's neat. And how did the whole Peterbilt thing come along, man? Like, was it just a happenstance, or have y'all been working on that for a while and it finally came through? Can you kind of tell us how that came about?
So I don't know the full backstory on Peterbilt, how it came to be. I know we did a private show when they released the 589. Here's how I came to be involved in it. True story. We were in rehearsals down in Austin. I was coming home to my home in East Texas, and I got an email, a text, and a phone call that said, "Hey, we're going to a truck this year. Can you help us out?" And instead of saying, "What do you need help with?" and then answering the question, I got it backwards with dyslexia and said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then I said, "What do you need help with?" And the answer I got was all of it. So, I mean, we literally went from leasing buses to having a DOT number to having authority to cross state lines and carry our gear everywhere. And the rest is just it's been like a wildfire, man. It's hard to believe that we're at 4 trucks now. But real quick, I do have to give a shout out to my number 2 guy on the buses, because I see that he's watching us also, and that's Mike McGraw. I couldn't do a lot of what I do now without Mike and his help in making sure that A, I'm on point, and B, if I have any questions that I'm just trying to talk through, he's got my back on, along with Chico.
Man, if you want to send Mike a link, you got that invite button down at the bottom. If you want to bring him in, he's more than welcome. That's the beauty of the lounge. But while you're doing that, I do have a question, though. I'll let you finish your business, but I want to know how that conversation goes with a band on explaining to them why the upgrades and the logistics side of it is so important to someone that doesn't, as a musician, like a lot of them don't think about it, or at least I would think it, but it's all in the background. How are those conversations going where it's like, okay, hey, we need this. This is what we have to do in order for you guys to be successful? Or do they just like, they're like, hey, you're our guy, Todd. This is why we brought you here.
So it's kind of, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have the guys that own this band, along with Eddie and Chris, and we talk through a bunch of stuff, and they'll ask me questions, about, hey, what do we need to do to get here? And I'll answer them. But if it's something that I see that might benefit us, I make a suggestion and I go, okay, here's the pros, here's the cons to it. And these guys are real great about being able to approach it and talk to them about this stuff. Eddie is the same way. You know, if I need to, if I can't get him on the phone, I can always shoot him a text. Chris is the same way. You know, so um, it's it takes a it takes a special group of guys in the band to be able to approach, because I have worked for some that you don't speak to them. You're not even allowed on the bus while they're eating. You know, these aren't these guys that I work for. Excuse me.
Todd, if I could, I have a question in a minute, but I kind of just want to follow through with what you're saying right now, because I don't know if you're going to get to it. But we had you on last. One of the probably the most repetitive thing that was said on that show was the word family, like everything. I mean, Chico must said it a million times. You must said it a million times. I mean, it just and you said that there at the end, and you said last show, like that's what makes being a part of Whiskey Myers different, is everyone's a family. I mean, I remember you told us a story on the last show where y'all had an issue with the truck, and the truck pulled over and you were coming up behind in the bus and you were like, man, is that our truck? And the whole team pulled over. I mean, the band, everyone pulled over on the side of the road and was like, man, what is going on? What do we need to do to get this thing up and running again? And I mean, that's great to hear, because I don't think that a lot of people realize that there is a big disconnect with some of these major touring bands and their logistics team. A lot of these people, they hire these companies that do that, so they get different folks every single time. They don't get that long-term relationship like they do with you, Todd, and the team that you hired to help do logistics as well.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely a family. I mean, and in the same breath as saying we're a family, at 100%, we fight like cats and dogs, and we argue, but at the end of the day, we all have one goal in common, and that is for Whiskey Myers to be the best Whiskey Myers can be, no matter if it's me planning logistics, if it's Mike helping me out with buses, if it's Chico in the trucks, if it's Howard, Eddie, Chris, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, our end goal is all the same, and that is to make this a household name.
Hey, y'all are well on the dang way, brother. I'm telling you, you are. I don't think I've mentioned y'all one time to someone and they not know who you are. Matter of fact, I was talking to one of my customers today. I have a customer mine. He messes with me all the time about having a podcast. And he was messing with me today. He's like, so who's coming on your show today, Pedro? And I was like, oh man, I got the logistics team from an indie country music band coming on, dude. And he's like, oh really, who? And I was like, Whiskey Myers. And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, bro, for real, watch the show today. He was like, no. I was like, all right, man, all right, you just watch the show and you find out for yourself. So it's like always giving me crap, man. And finally I got someone on that like he knows who they are and he listens to y'all's music. And I so bad wanted to text him like, yeah, you're gonna stop talking shit after that now, aren't you? And I think he froze again. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix.
It's all good.
Technology, Todd.
This is proof that Todd has nothing to do with setting up the audio. You know what I mean? Like, so apparently, because the show would go in and out, right? He's like, I get it there. Someone else's job to set it up. We'll get him back in a minute. It's all right. Dude, I so need to get the Jeopardy music, bro. I need to see if that stuff is copyrighted and if we can buy rights to it and we play that when this happens, man.
I've got a guy. I'll buy a little MIDI board. I'll start playing some smooth jazz in the back.
We'll get him back in a second, man. Yeah.
Anyway, but I do like what you're talking about there, though, Pedro. Like, yeah, that disconnects, and like obviously, like, oh god, and he is completely gone. Okay, he will be back. Maybe he got a phone call or something, but just kind of diving into like his experiences through like having these conversations and the people that it takes. But the family side of it is rock solid. There he is, different camera angle and everything.
See, this is what happens when you live in.
See, I thought we
in
got
East
fired
Texas.
for a minute. Pedro and I were about to quit the show.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
We
You
were
now
about to cancel Matt.
that's it. But you now have a new nickname, Todd. It's Technology Todd. That's your nickname now.
Look here, I can do a lot of things. I have to get the same type phone my wife has, so she can show me how to turn it off and on.
Is it one of those rotary phones?
Oh, dang! That's a
Wow,
burn
really?
right there. Oh man, that's
Really?
a good
Dude, I
one right
wish I
there.
had a rotary phone. I miss
Hey, Todd,
landline, bro.
Todd, don't worry, Todd. I got you. For him being disrespectful, you're gone, Mr. Hound.
Here we go
Uh,
again.
There you go, man. There you go. You know, the sucky thing is he has the power to bring his own self back up, so it just doesn't really matter.
Help me. Here we go. We're playing musical chairs.
All right, Todd. Hey, so what question I was going to ask before we started getting on the family thing, which we'll get back to that, I'm sure. But is
This is
well, actually, I
crazy.
want to. Yeah, what's crazy?
My internet
I
actually.
think
Sorry.
I think he's really trying to find his rotary phone. So comment though says that discovering whiskey Myers was one of the best things about watching Yellowstone. So that's dude, that I don't know if y'all realize that. I've blah, blah, several people that I've talked to have said that they got turned on to them through Yellowstone. And I didn't realize they had a song on there, and I went and looked it up and look Whiskey on Yellowstone. I was like, oh, holy junk. Like, man, they sure did, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. The guys were there season 1, episode 3, I believe it is.
But anyway, back to what my question was. You were talking about the tour. Here's what I want to know, Todd. How in the heck do you guys plan the route for this? And what I mean by that is I need to understand why it makes sense to have a show in Houston and then go to Los Angeles and then go to Phoenix and then go back to Austin. Like I need someone to explain that to me. Do you know how does that work? Is it just what venues have what available dates and you guys kind of got to work around that, or?
Yeah, so every artist has a booking agent. Whether it be CAA, William Morris, it doesn't matter. There's a booking agent, and the artist and management will say, okay, here's the dates that we're going to tour next year. So the booking agent management start figuring out and piecing it together. And a lot of it's based on the availability of the venue and the date that that artist or band wants to go to that particular city. And that's my knowledge on that. I just know I get a calendar that says, here's what we're doing. We need to know what the mileages are.
Well, that's pretty interesting to know, man. I mean, because to me, and I'm sure you and Hunter as well, for all three of us being, in logistics for decades here, I mean, to us, it's like we should be the ones that start the thing. Like, hey, if we're going to start here, these are the places you want to go. We need to go here, 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 and this is how we need to do it because this is the most economical way. This is going to be the most fuel efficient, save us travel costs, blah 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 blah. So that's kind of interesting to hear that in the music deal that it's kind of a backwards thing. Hey, this is where we're going to be, Todd. You just got to figure it out now.
Yeah, the music industry is I just had this conversation not too long ago. The music industry is the exact opposite of hauling freight. Hauling freight, and I spent some time doing that, is you're literally dock to dock, or dock to store or whatever. And the music business, it's always been, we want to go play Houston Rodeo. Okay, well, that plays, those dates are this. Well, none of those dates work. Okay, so you can do it next year. Or we want to go to Red Rocks. Well, Red Rocks will say, okay, here's the dates that we have available. We'll put you in here. Now, and I'll share, I can share this with you. Speaking of Red Rocks, the very first time the guys headlined Red Rocks, we literally played on a Monday. On Saturday, we were in New Braunfels, Texas at Whitewater. So we finished the show there, left there, and went straight to Morrison, Colorado to play Red Rocks on Monday.
All right. Well, keeping on that. I mean, that was one of the questions we were going to ask. Again, we asked the last show, but it's a lot of people watch this for the first time. So, talking about that, you just gave us a great example of the time crunches that all of you are under. I mean, even the band. So, how does that work with y'all once the show's done? I mean, in my mind, y'all are working through the night, or like literally as soon as they step off stage and before people are even out the dang doors, like, things are coming down, we're shoving stuff in trucks, and we're hauling patootie across several states in the middle of the night. So tell everyone a little bit about that. Like, how does that work for y'all?
So typically our day starts, or the crew day starts at 7 a.m. With load in and breakfast. It takes them about 6.5, 7 hours to get everything put in. Then we run through a sound check. Obviously, the drivers, once we're done, we're off at a hotel to sleep because we're going to drive all night to get to the next town. Once the show comes down, and my hat's off to Howard and our production manager and our crew, because it literally, what takes them 6.5, 7 hours to put in a building, it takes them, last year, their best time was 1 hour, 32 minutes out of a building.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean,
and how many trailers are like, the staging, lighting, speakers, obviously, instruments, like
it's 4 trailers.
Well,
all right, all you shippers out there that take 4.5 hours to unload a single pallet, please listen to this man below us, because that's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna send Todd's team across the dang country to all you shippers and receivers having their
right.
how shit has to be done. I know that's right, man.
Watch out.
Well, and go.
Hey, either that or these shippers and receivers can get that checkbook out and start paying that detention time.
Hey, there's a good.
You're walking on some dangerous waters now.
No,
have you ever charged the venue detention time?
No, because they're damn glad to see us at 7 o'clock in the morning. They might have just finished loading the show out and got home for 3 hours, but these local stagehands that we deal with are for the most part phenomenal. Yeah. And the fact that they're glad to be there. They know their venue and they know what it takes to get in and out of there.
So speaking on that, man, because you talked about Red Rocks, and like I've been there one time. I'm trying to go this summer to go see Widespread Panic, but like, dude, what's that load and look like? Like, where are you backing into, and like, who are the people that you're dealing with at these venues to like ensure everything goes seamlessly?
So every venue has their own production manager that talks to Howard, our production manager.
I'm just going to stop asking questions.
It's every time you ask a question. That's
works
what it
with
is.
The local stagehands, whether it be union hands for an IOTS, for an.
All right, start over, Todd. We kind of lost you there for a second. So for the venue production managers to your production managers to boom.
We back?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Todd.
I'm just going to keep talking, and y'all will come back and shake your head one way or the other.
Yeah, you're good. You're back, bro. Keep going.
So anyway, the local promoter works with Howard, our production manager, in establishing how many hands we need. And Red Rocks, for example, it is one of the most beautiful, iconic venues in the country. It also has one of the best local stagehand groups I've ever dealt with, in the fact that I just took 4 trucks in there or last year we did. When we loaded in, they have 2 stake bed trucks that come down the bottom of the hill. They unload it, they send it up the hill. I mean, and it's just a revolving wheel. You couldn't ask for a better group to load you in and load. there's several venues that we deal with all across the country that are that way. But Red Rocks is the one that sticks out.
Nice.
Well, I can speak to that. Red Rocks, man, they do it the best. There's a reason that people travel across the world to go see a band at Red Rocks, no matter who it is.
So,
Yes.
And that hill is a B. It's a bitch. Sorry to cuss on this. Sorry, Peter Bilton and everybody, but like, dude, it is a pain, man. I was one of the cats that paid $10 to get up the hill off of some dude's car, man. I ain't walking that dude. I almost passed out walking up the stairs.
That's funny, man. That's hilarious.
Oh,
Todd's laughing. I don't know what you're talking about, but Todd obviously does. That's why he's giggling about it.
Dude, it's a pain, man. That place is in the middle of nowhere, but it is.
You can't.
Beautiful, like the best. Actually, have you ever done? You guys ever had a show at the Gorge?
Funny you asked me that question. So on Facebook, if you go to the Whiskey Myers page, not the fan page is great, and we share a lot of content there. But if you go to Whiskey Myers page, we're actually going to play the Gorge for the first time this year on a co-headline tour with Tedeschi Trucks.
Dude, Susan. When I think of going to heaven and the angels singing, Susan Tedeschi is the one right there leading that band, and freaking and Derek Trucks where. Derek, dude, on that slide, man, that is homegrown music right there. Because I'm a big Allman Brothers fan, I'm a Georgia boy, so like, dude, that's awesome. And the Gorge, they have an airport that you can fly right into and just like go to the venue just for that.
Yep,
that's amazing.
We're doing a co-headline deal this year in August, and like I said, you can go to whiskeymyers.com and see those dates with Tedeschi Trucks. And we are super excited about that because it opens up a lot of stuff for us as well.
That's great, man. We're gonna find a way to get to a show where you're going to Nashville. I'm gonna have to look up the dates and see what they're doing here in Texas so I can go to something. Yeah,
well, you might.
Yeah, I'm gonna look something up. But hey, what I want to do is I want to kind of back up a little bit. And we were talking about the venue Red Rock, and you were talking about, them having to load up separate trucks and bring stuff to the top of the hill. So, what is it like getting into some of these venues? Like, are every one of these things made for you guys to be in there? You know what I mean? To bring trucks in and
absolutely not. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but absolutely not.
Go ahead.
It's kind of like an architect designing a house. When they design a door, they don't build the door wide enough to put a couch in. Some of these venues, some of the venues are old, and when they first came around, they were great. But now, because of growth and expansion, it can make it rather challenging as far as putting trucks or buses in there. But we always figure out a way to do it. Some of them might be that we put a truck in and we pull it out and put another one in. Charlottesville, Virginia, at the Ting Pavilion is one of those cases where it's literally one truck at a time, and the buses that park backstage don't get parked until the trucks are done loading in. But then the buses have to leave so we can shuttle trucks in and out for the loadout. And going back to Red Rocks, I was telling you that the best time that I remember from last year was an hour, 32 minutes out of a venue. I'll tell you how dialed in the crew at Red Rocks is. 4 trucks, we finished, trucks were loaded, doors were closed 3 hours and 13 minutes after the show went down.
Hey, that is nuts, dude. I figured that they were fairly like long tear down times. Like I really did. Like I was thinking, some of these things I was figuring it's 8 hours to tear some of this stuff down. Cause I mean, let's be realistic. Like it's still a lot of things. I mean, you're talking about all the audio, the stage, the racking. I mean, light, sound. I mean, all of it. Like I don't think people realize, Hunter and I've seen pictures of the packs. That's what y'all call them, the packs in the truck. I mean, and dude, it is literally packed. It's a packed pack. I mean, it is floor to ceiling, front to back, man, and it is a ton of stuff. And you got to think, for those of you out there that have never seen the inside of a semi trailer, I mean, 53 feet long, 8.5 feet high, 8 feet wide. I mean, just think about the amount of stuff that you can fit into those and have to unpack and repack 4 of those every single, or I wouldn't say every single night, but on a consistent basis. That's absolutely crazy for y'all to be able to get that done so fast. And it is a testament to those crews that you were saying that y'all deal with at each one of these shows. So, hands off to those hard workers.
Well, and it's a testament to the drivers as well, because the drivers have to know said pack, and they have to know where to strap it and where to put a load bar in, and they have to know what goes where, and be able to direct the local stagehands. Take this case and spin it 90 on the driver's wall. So it's it is controlled chaos at its finest. We'll put it that way.
Well, it's kind of staying on this. We're going to get back to the venue thing, because I've got a great question from someone. Someone texted me a question, wanted me to ask about the venue stuff. But with these packs, Todd, like do y'all, how can I say this, set up like a diagram of the way each pack needs to go in the truck, and is it put in there a certain way, so that way when y'all back up, like, hey, these things come out first, or is it just this stuff just needs to go in this truck?
So that's a yes and no answer. Yes, there's guys that are in the audio department or in the lighting department or in the video department that they sit down with a diagram of the trailer, and it's a rolling game of Tetris, if you will. Because what looks good on paper might not necessarily work with what we have going on when it comes time to load. So there has to be adjustments made. But we do start out with a general idea of what the pack is going to look like.
All right. Well, man, I just keep thinking of things I never wrote down, man. So continuing on the pack thing, y'all doing a new show this year. I mean, how often, or how can I say this? Trying to word this right. I'm sure every tour is different. Everyone always has a different theme and stuff. So, how do you deal with that? Like, is every new tour you've got to buy certain new Hunter, help me with the word here, like backdrops, Hunter, and I can't think of the word, like set designs. There you go. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. And I was gonna bounce on that too. Like, do you have to like plan your load in and load outs accordingly to the venue, but
yeah, well, my question is going to be, is how often, what do y'all do with the last tour's stuff, or do y'all just kind of refab it, reuse it, and set it up to where it'll work for whatever the new set designs or theme of the new tour is? How does that work?
So as much as I would love to sit here and as my dad used to say, either baffle you with brilliance or dazzle you with brilliance or baffle you with bullshit, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know the answer to that question.
All right, that's fine. All right. That's good.
Love that.
We're gonna.
Here's how I can answer that question. Todd, I need 2 trucks in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Cool. Okay. Done.
Roger that. I'll have full of fuel and a driver with fresh hours sitting there at 7 a.m.
Exactly.
All right. Well, hey, let's take it back to the venue. We skipped around a minute because you led into something that made me think about the question about the packs and everything. But what is the pucker factor with getting into some of these venues? Todd, like one of the videos that you had sent us that we use as a teaser trailer was, I think, y'all with the Houston Rodeo or Livestock Arena, something last year, and the truck was literally in the middle of the arena on the dirt. So what is it like trying to get those things in there, man? Is it stressful? I mean, can you tell us how that is?
Can it be stressful? Yes, 100%. Is it stressful? Not really, because we surround ourselves with people that are 100% capable of doing the job. And one thing that we do is when we're backing a truck in, we always have people on the ground watching. We'll have one guy communicating or one person communicating with that driver. Hey, this is what I need you to do backing in. And then we've always got eyes watching. So we take that very seriously and very carefully. We don't get in a hurry when it comes to moving these pieces of machinery around.
I can imagine, you got to take your stuff into account, and obviously the venue stuff as well. And I mean, kind of talking on that dirt floor thing, and getting into these venues, you're talking about them being old. Does weight ever come into a factor with pulling into, or some of these places, like they're like, hey, we need you to pull in the middle of this arena? Well, okay, can your arena support 70,000 pounds of truck, or whatever the case may be?
And again, that is something that Howard takes care of when he's doing his advance, and they say, we're loading in the middle of this arena. Okay, well, what's in the arena? And to be realistic with you, Houston Rodeo, the NRG down there, normally we wouldn't pull in there, but because it's a rodeo and there's dirt, and they allow us to pull into it. I'm not sure about NFL or anything else that goes on down there, but there are some that the height of the door is too low and we can't do it. But that's stuff that Howard figures out when he's doing his advance work, and then he and I'll sit down or not sit down, and sometimes it's via a phone call or an email. Hey, this is what we're looking at here.
So Howard's kind of doing the logistics with inside the logistics, in a sense.
I think Todd lost us. Did you hear him, Todd?
See, dude, every time I ask a question, I think Todd's just
Hit me
playing a
again,
prank on me at this point.
He said, hit him again, Hunter. Hit him again.
So Howard is in an essence like the man doing the logistics, like within the logistics of what you do, like the venue logistics. Like that was one thing I was thinking about, like like big truck access. Like not everybody has that. So what do you do at that point? Like, do you hire a box truck? Do you unload all this shit, like stuff? Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on this one. But
Howard's doing the logistics before the logistics starts happening. As far as hey, we're rolling in. We've got 4 trucks. Here's what we need. And then my job is just basically making sure it's where it needs to be, when it needs to be there, and giving him mileages and drive times.
If we could, I want to switch it up on the venue talk. I want to keep talking about venues, but I want to talk about truck show venues, Todd. That's what we want to talk about. We want to know is can we expect to see some Whiskey Myers trucks at some truck shows here soon? Because I mean, like, y'all have got some ridiculously dope custom trucks, man. Let's be honest. And Peterbilt, they're at every single truck show. And Peterbilt, if you're listening, you need to replace your trucks that you bring there, and you need to bring the Whiskey Myers trucks to the show and have them do it. So it's a 2-for-1. That's what we want to do. So hit us with a Todd. Have y'all talked about that? Have y'all done it before? Like, I mean, are we giving you an idea here that we can expect to come into fruition?
And Pedro, pull up some pictures of these trucks while we're talking at it.
We have had some discussions as far as as coming to some truck shows. The biggest issue that we run into is when the truck shows are happening, I'm 1,400 miles away doing a show at a venue. So, I need, we need to figure out how to get the truck show coordinator and the booking agent all together and say, okay, this is when you can do your truck show. But yes, there has been some talk about it. We were trying to figure out how to do mats this year, and unfortunately, we just missed the cutoff. So we're not going to be able to be at mats this year. But there is another one that we're looking at potentially, and it's one here in Texas.
Which
Oh,
one?
well, look! I got paid. Look, I got paid.
Yeah, you got Pedro ticking over there.
Bro, because I'm going to every single truck show in Texas this year. I've got every freaking one of them on my list. So I don't care what one it is you're going to. I'm gonna be there. I don't care if it's a Whiskey Myers truck show and it's in the parking lot of the logistics center that you guys have. I don't care. I'm going to.
They don't call him the Texas Truck Show Tater for no reason. All right, he is
Dude,
the king of the trucks.
Bro, I am. Seriously, which one are y'all talking about going to, man?
There's a couple of them, but there's one in particular that I tell you what we'll do. We'll plan another one when I can announce what show that is.
Okay, all right. And
Are we talking around 3?
Yeah, we are talking around 3. All right,
I guess we can squeeze you in, Todd. We'll find some time.
Yeah, we might be able to work.
We'll have to check our schedules and everything.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. I mean,
that's exactly it.
Have your booking agent call my booking agent, and we'll see.
Yeah. Our people will call your people, and then we'll go from there. Dude, look at that, man. What's that red one over there?
That's the 3. Well, they're all 389s, but
I like that chop top style, man. Like that thing is low and slow profiling, dude. That is sick.
Yeah, that
Go ahead, Todd.
That truck really looks good going down the road. I mean, they all look great going down the road, especially with that red oval in front of them. But I've got to give a shout out to Talladega Fiberglass in Talladega, Alabama. They actually did us a solid on these trailers. To the point that they went in and they put some T-bar lighting underneath them and lit them up. And I mean, boy, they look phenomenal. And I that happened. Danny and Sarah that you both know had a connection there, and they reached out and wanted to do it. So huge shout out to Talladega Fiberglass for taking care of that and doing that for us. Huge shout out to Peterbilt for giving us these, not giving, but providing us these awesome trucks to roll around the country with. Huge shout out to Miller Lite, because everybody's got to stay hydrated.
That's right. Only one more calorie. Make Ultra.
Tastes great, less filling.
Dude, I love this.
Oh, dude, that one too, man.
I call this the cherry Dr. Pepper truck. Because every time I see it, that's what I think of. Cherry Dr. Pepper. And they're from Texas, which is where Dr. Pepper is from. So see, it works, dude. It's good. Y'all need to get with Dr. Pepper. Todd, y'all need to get with Dr. Pepper as well, dude. That would be a great sponsor. Uncle Chicken Spicy Whiskey, dude. Dr. Pepper goes great whiskey.
Uncle Chicken sipping whiskey.
Sipping. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about that one, Todd, because your boy, Mr. the Freight Hound, happens to run alcohol as a business. So,
well, yeah, I need to get you in touch then, because we're super proud of Uncle Chicken's sipping whiskey. Yeah,
make me want to eat a big old plate of ribs right now, man. Ribs and whiskey put me to sleep, sir. Coming summertime too.
We'll talk about that Uncle Chicken's at another conversation.
There we go.
There's
Don't let me get ahead of myself. You gotta give me the baseball signs, remember?
Todd was talking about these lights, like, dude, look at these things. Oh my gosh, man. Oh, dude, that is so. I can just imagine what their convoy looks like going down the highway at night, dude. You need to get Chris to get some nighttime footage, man, of you guys rolling down the highway. Man, that would be some good stuff right there, dude. Yeah.
Let me tell you, it is quite a sight. We We actually did that a couple of times last year. We had played, trying to think where it was. We were out on the West Coast, but we were going to the new casino in Sacramento, the Hard Rock, and it was only hour and a half, 2 hour drive. And the guys actually, the band guys, said that they wanted everything to go together that night. So we literally rolled all 4 trucks and 3 buses together into this casino. And I mean, you talk about heads turning, going down the road. It was quite a sight to see.
There is nothing cooler than a convoy of trucks rolling down with the chicken lights on there, man, doing like 75, just screaming down the highway, man.
Not in California, we don't.
Yeah.
They don't like good music out there in California.
We do.
60. You can get away with 60. I ran it a lot. You can get away with 60.
We do not break any laws in the state of California,
Amen.
Or any state for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely not. Law-abiding citizens. The anthem of Whiskey Myers Logistics.
Exactly. So
we got chicken whiskey, but we don't run them chicken coops now.
No. Hey, so we talked earlier about what we're calling this tour this year. This what we were born to do tour, and it kicking off with Tailgates and Tall Boys in Clinton, Iowa, on June 5th. And then the first show being in Des Moines, Iowa on June 6th. But here's something that people can do that the band started last year and they had some success with. So we're going to do it again this year. Anybody got a drum roll set up?
Oh, that's
close enough.
Could you hear that?
So Whiskey Myers for the 2025, what we were born.
Every time he's about to say something important, this is just ludicrous.
It's every time I talk, so I'm just going to stop. I'm going to put it in the private chat,
That's
and then
right.
Pedro, you ask the questions for me. I'm done. Y'all have a good time. I'm leaving.
Anyway, so we offer a VIP package to a show, and there's several different levels of it. We've got one that is just it's mind blowing. We call it the ultimate Whiskey Myers experience. And I don't have all the details on it. You can go to whiskeymyers.com and check it out. But with this ultimate one, you'll get a custom branded acoustic guitar from Whiskey Myers. You get a guided tour of the backstage area, so you actually get to see what's going on during the day before the lights go out and we kick things up a notch. Every VIP package comes with a VIP laminate where you have early access to the venue. You have early merch shopping to the venue because, one of the things we do is we have partnered with Soundwaves Creations, and we release posters at certain venues, certain shows. And I don't know when those are. There's an announcement made, and those typically go pretty quick. So if you've always wanted one of those and you've never gotten it because you're there after they're all gone or sold out, check out whiskeymyers.com and check out the VIP packages.
I've waited many hours in line for these prints behind me, and I know that story. But I want to talk about that VIP package, man. I want me a guitar.
There you go. And here's something else that might be interesting. We talked about the Tedeschi Trucks co-headline thing in August. We're literally starting Bend, Oregon with that one, and we're going to finish in Guilford, New Hampshire. We are covering West Coast to East Coast in 30 days. You are correct. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, have mercy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Say that again.
we are starting in Bend, Oregon, and we're going to finish in Guilford, New Hampshire. We're going to cover West Coast to East Coast in 30 days.
How many shows?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Hey, on this topic, this is another question that's popped into my head, man. Is both times we've talked to you and in private conversation stuff, the kind of we've had, we've talked timelines and stuff, and I just want to know how can I say this properly? A lot of shows, a lot of groups, they will do a 6-month thing, a year thing, and and they'll do 30 shows or whatever the amount is, and they spread them out. What is it? What is the attraction to y'all with just packing it in so tight and just getting in as much as you can and y'all do that several times a year. Like, why not just do a 6-month, 8-month, 10-month, whatever tour? What's the attraction behind that or the idea behind it or whatever you might say, Todd?
I can't speak for those above my pay grade. But I can tell you what the attraction is for me and the way that they're laying the tour out. I get more home time.
I can definitely see that.
I get to see my grandbabies more. I get to fish more. I get to see my wife more. I'm good with that.
Yeah, you do see that a lot more, man. Like you got some of these cats doing world tours. They're hitting like 200 something shows in a year. But like the spring, summer, winter tours, that's the way to do it, man.
Now my first year with these guys, we worked. I was gone about 230 days. And yeah.
That's a lot, dude.
Oh, I'm fixing to really blow your mind. In my previous tour experience, there was one tour, and Mike McGraw was there as well. We were gone 335 days out of 365 days. So you do the math on how much I was home.
Probably came home to take out the trash for the wife and then back in the truck.
So that's my answer to your question, Pedro. Is I can't speak for the way that they decide when they're going to do this. It just, for me, it means more home time.
I'm sure probably a lot of that is the same thing for them as well, for everyone involved. I mean, let's be real. Y'all are out there. A lot of these bands, musicians. I mean, they're gone all the time, and people don't think about well, if they're gone, all their team has to be gone too. All of their assistants, all their management, all their production, their logistics people, everyone. They've all got to take time away from their families. And people like, oh, well, they get paid good and. Is someone who spent the better part of a decade away from my wife and kids because I was a driver, and I made killer money. Looking back at it now, yeah, like my wife and kids had a bunch of fancy shit, but they didn't have me. You know what I mean? Like I missed a lot of things, and people have families, whether you got kids or not. You have, brothers and sisters, cousins, grandmas, moms, whatever it is that you want to do. And people have hobbies like fishing. And Todd does some crazy fishing. I just want to say, Hunter, you and Todd, y'all would have a hoot. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, though, people don't think about that, and I bet that is probably a very, very large part of why they try to do that, man, is to keep that time off and give themselves a break so they can keep, pumping out stuff and putting out good music and good shows. And you guys as well, y'all can't get burned out either. I mean, they can't just, everyone has to have that time to recoup, regenerate, come up with new ideas, new things. And let's talk about the equipment. I mean, Todd, I remember the first time I ever talked to you verbally, you were pulling the bus. I was like, Todd, what are you doing? And you're like, oh man, I'm pulling into this, whatever it was, dealership to get this bus service. And like, I'm dropping this off. And it was like 7:30 at night. And I'm like, holy crap, man. And you're like, dude, this is what I do. As soon as the show's over, I have to take all the equipment in, get all the things serviced, get everything taken care of that needs to be done.
And it's funny you remember that, Pedro, because we had talked about, having some trucks in the background, maybe doing a guided tour.
Yes.
Guess where the trucks are right now?
Where are they at?
They're over at Rush Peterbilt getting serviced, ready to go for this year's tour.
Dude, I love that, man. Hey, on that, Todd, are you in charge of that too, man? Like being the logistics guy, like keeping up with the maintenance and stuff of
Oh,
of the trucks and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have to keep. So not only do I handle the logistics, but since it is Whiskey Myers DOT number, I handle all of our DOT compliance and all of our safety. So if FMCSA says that you have to have it in a driver DQ file, guess what? I've got a file cabinet that has everything in it that I'm required to have. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I don't want to stop you.
No. I was done.
All right. Well, good. Hey, now that we're kind of on this truck talk stuff, and you're talking about DOT things. So, how many inspections are on your MC number, Todd?
Yeah.
Y'all get inspected a lot? It's a joke you don't get. I'll fill you in on the joke later on. Inspections is a whole stupid thing and everything. But do you guys get pulled into weigh stations a lot?
We do. And I mean, we use Samsara ELD. Okay. That's what's in all the trucks. That's what's in all the buses. And Samsara has a great thing with DriveWise that they use for pre-pass. So we have that all set up. And yes, we do get pulled in, and everybody says, oh, well, it's because you drive these big fancy Peterbilts or you've got these 53-foot Great Dane trailers. Let me just tell you that is a myth, because unless they've got a camera sitting somewhere, all they get is that transponder. They don't know. It pops up my DOT number, but they don't know what the truck looks like or what the trailer looks like. Now, in the same breath as saying that, there are times that, yes, we will get pulled over. The trucks will get pulled over going down the road because it is a 53-foot billboard advertising the band. And to answer your question, Pedro, about inspections, last year we had 8 roadside inspections. Now, do you want me to follow that up with how many violations we had?
We're gonna guess 0 because I know how you are, Todd. So I'm gonna guess 0. I hope I'm right because I bet 100 $500 before the show about this question. So 0, please 0. And we lost him. God dang it. He'll be back. He'll be back in a second.
I'm just wondering what happens when TQO calls him for a load.
Hunter, what's my cut if you win?
500. I don't know. What you paying me, Pedro? Pesos or?
That's exactly right. You winner, chicken dinner.
So we're going to 50-50 there, Todd.
We had 0. Wow.
That's crazy, man. 0. That's quite an accomplishment, man. It really is. With 6 inspections, no violations.
8.
That's a feat. Or 8
inspections.
Feat. That is a feat.
Yeah, and Hunter, just so you know, Pedro's paying you in tacos.
That is right. But Hunter, Hunter, to my credit, I'm paying you in those tacos that I posted a few weeks ago. They're like the size of this freaking AR Doc Pro tumbler right here. So
I don't know if that's so much of a taco more than a quesadilla that has just not been grilled, but we can keep it as is. As long as it's just some nice cut flank steak with some elote on top. Hey.
Oh, here we go.
Hunter doesn't know anything about Mexican food, Todd. He's lived in Georgia and Tennessee. He doesn't know anything about Mexican food. The people that
white my father lives in Costa Rica. I have eaten some incredible Hispanic food. I know it's not Mexican food, but don't test me, man. You can catch me at the food truck by the 7-Eleven any day of the week. All right.
I'm a cash you outside. By the food truck.
With a fat stack of tacos in my hands, brother.
Oh,
we can
awesome.
fight after you let me eat. then I might need to take a nap, and then we can talk about it the next day.
All right. So,
all right.
Pedro, Hunter, here's something for y'all. Pedro, you're married. Hunter, we're still trying to figure you out.
So is medical
we're
science, Todd. So is medical
Well,
science.
that's why I said that. I mean, we'll just leave that one alone. Here will be a great getaway for you and your wife Pedro and Hunter, you and your girlfriend at the time, I hope. November. Hey man,
hey, you might offer me something that might lock that in. So. I can go from an 8 to a 10. Right?
Oh Lord, have mercy! This is going downhill fast.
Pump my brakes, man.
I don't see a runaway ramp anywhere in sight either. So talking about 25 and what we've got going on with Whiskey Myers, November 7th through the 9th, we have partnered with a place in Miramar Beach, Florida for the first annual Whiskey Moon Festival. Now, the reason that this is special is Whiskey Myers is going to play 2 nights. First night is with some outstanding, and I do mean outstanding, support acts. I'm not going to tell you who they are. You're going to have to go to whiskeymyers.com to find it. I will tell you that one of the acts that will be there, that's scheduled to be there, is another gentleman out of Texas named Charlie Crockett. I will tell you that another group that's scheduled to be there out of Texas is a little guy from down out of the Austin, New Braunfels area named Shane Smith and the Saints. So whiskeymyers.com, November 7th through the 9th, 2025, Miramar Beach, Moon Crush presents Whiskey Moon. How's that for a festival name?
I want a t-shirt, a tattoo, and a poster right now.
I know that, dude. I do. I know that's right. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. That's all I'm hearing. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. That's it right there. Yeah.
So, and since we were picking on California earlier, for all of our people in California, mark your calendars. You know it's coming. It happens every year. But there's this beautiful thing out there called Stagecoach. April 25th, Whiskey Myers is a Stagecoach in Indio, California, which everybody's seen. So if you've been trying to figure out a way to come see us, whiskeymyers.com.
Hunter, hey,
I
think we're gonna have to find a special sponsor for November, so we can get so we go this show.
Put me to work,
dude.
That's all I'm saying.
And that's it, Todd. There you go, Todd. There's the deal. We will come. We'll not only pay to come, but we'll come help too. You want us to sweep the floor? Sweep the floor. Like, we don't care. I mean, whatever. Hey, I don't have my CDL anymore, but you need a truck back then. You need something done. You need a trailer drop. You let me know, man. We are your guys. We'll do whatever you want, man. We'll pay and you'll get free labor. I mean, dude, that's the deal of the century right there. Yeah.
How's your polishing skills?
Pretty damn good. I got a bumper, dude. You should see my wife's car, man. You can see your reflection in that paint, man. Okay, so I'm all about it. I'll bring a. You know what? We need to. You know what I'm thinking right now? You know who lives in Florida? That is it's a really good friend of ours that just so happens to have like polishing stuff and everything else. Mr. Van Brown with the snot.
Oh yeah.
oh, dude, we're gonna talk to Van. We're gonna talk to Van. I'm like, oh, that's it, dude. That's it. And we're gonna talk after this show because I can't believe I didn't just connect two and two. We're gonna talk after this show about about that man right there. You would like him, Todd. Like that dude. We call everyone calls him the redneck chemist.
The redneck chemist.
That's his name, the redneck chemist.
Bull's not proud, baby.
It's funny because where we get the trucks and buses washed here in East Texas, at Red Devil Truck Wash, she carries bull snot stuff. So I might have to check it out.
Oh, buddy, man, we're gonna. Hey, Hunter, the Lounge Collective is about to be at work with Whiskey Myers. I'm telling you, like we're gonna make some cool stuff.
About to be at work with Todd and the boys.
With Todd, I started with Todd. Whiskey
family.
Myers Logistics with Todd.
Whiskey family.
Yeah, Whiskey family. Hey Todd, we're gonna wind it down here. We're going on an hour and a half. We know you've got stuff going on. You got lots of planning and everything to do. But we want to give you the opportunity, man, to give you guys any more plugs, give your sponsors some plugs, anything that you feel you didn't say on the show, go ahead and spit it all out. The floor is yours.
Man, I can't thank you guys enough for having us back on. I wish I could have had everybody here. Unfortunately, some things just didn't line up today, and you're stuck looking at Mr. Clean. But I mean, a huge shout out to Peterbilt Motors Company for believing in Whiskey Myers and the brand that they represent. A huge shout out to Miller Lite. Miller Lite has been the longest running partner that I know of with Whiskey Myers. Huge shout out to Uncle Chicken Sipping Whiskey, Talladega Fiberglass. Man, I feel like I'm being interviewed at a NASCAR race, and I'm going into the winner's circle, and well, the Peterbilt 389 they pulled just good coming out of turn 4 today, as you saw, and but I do want to do this if I can do it and get away with it. Well, and if I can't get away with it, I'll beg for forgiveness later. But I want to give a huge shout out to Lee Livesey Bass Elite, who we proudly sponsor, who is fishing the Bassmaster Classic this weekend on Lake Ray Roberts in Denton, Texas, with the Bassmaster Classic being in Fort Worth. So go get them, Lee. Do what you do, baby, and bring that trophy back to East Texas. Let's go. And again, guys, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your time. Shout out to.
Thank you, man, and thank you for just sharing your story, man. Being like, just out of the blue, how these relationships, been created, and just goes to show, man, just good old folks out here just trying to do the right thing, man. And like what you do is amazing, and like the fact that you shared this with us and brought us so many different opportunities, brother. Like, thank you. Like, it is an honor to have you on here, and just the conversations we're having, man, like where this is gonna go. Like, thank you, and thank your team, and thank you boys for making the beautiful music they do, because some days, man, a song can take you out of some spots, and I appreciate that more than everything, and you and your team make it happen. So
I agree.
That's
I just got a second 100 said, Todd. All the thanks is from us, man. This is becoming a dare I say a beautiful friendship. It really is. And it was just so happenstance that I connected with y'all on Facebook and sent a DM out in the wild and just said, let's see where it goes. And it's become a great thing. And so we thank you, man. Like Hunter said, with you sharing this stuff with us, man, giving us this access to you guys, because the band is incredible. Like, everyone knows that. But again, like I said at the beginning of the show, like none of that happens without trucks. None of that happens without drivers, without people that are out there on the roads, getting this stuff from event to event, doing all this planning. And so, I would take my hat off, but I'd have to take my headphones off to do it. But hats off to you, sir. There you go. There you go. Hats off to you, my friend. And Hunter, do you have anything else you want to say, man? I'm not doing any sponsor breaks, dude. Like, I am literally
nah, man. Like, this is Todd. This is I told Pedro in the back, dude. This is my favorite show to date, and it's just talking to people like you, man. You are a part of the American lore of an American truck driver and a logistician and making it shake for the masses, man. For the masses, you're doing something that people don't even think about, and like just giving us the opportunity to put you and the team out there, man, and just like really spread the word, man. Like, people think they got it hard. Well, shit, y'all running West Coast to East Coast in 30 days, playing 15 shows. That is wild. So, like, dude, you're a hardworking American man, and you do the right thing. You got cool shirts on and everything, and nice shiny head. And Pedro's going to polish it for you down there in Florida. Don't worry. So that's part of the deal.
I'm gonna bring my industrial muffler, man, my industrial one, the floor one, and we'll get his whole head in one go.
Dude, I'll save my head. No,
wow,
I ain't cutting this hair.
Yeah,
Todd, hey, you hang with us. In place of our normal sponsor break, I'm gonna roll this kick-ass intro video that Hunter and I made, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna tell y'all what, Todd.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, you gotta wait till the end. You gotta do it at the end too. All right. Hey, we appreciate everyone hanging out with us. We had a stellar show. We were well into the triple digits, just what we have on screen. Todd, just so you know, not all of our platforms record on here. So, man, this was much better than last time. I told you we had to do a live show, and that's what was going to kick it off. This will be our last show for a little bit. We will not have a show on Friday. We're preparing to go to Matt's, making sure everything is buckled down for that. You'll see a bunch of content from us next week from Matt's. We will be doing a couple of live shows from there. And then we will be back in action on, let me see, April 4th. That is a Friday. We will have Mark Rupert in here, and we're going to debunk some myths on driver cams and technology inside trucks. This guy's a really great guy, man. Designs a bunch of cool stuff. So really interested in having that conversation with him. But as I always say, get ready, Todd, because this is your part. As I always say, chunk them deuces, and Mr. Hound,
roll that beautiful bean footage.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.